Hi, I'm Bill Burnett. I'm the author of The Peak Interview, and I wanted to introduce myself. I'm a retired executive. I've traveled the world doing my work. I've worked in about 65 countries. I've lived in seven of them. And in the course of my career, I've managed groups as large as 250 people. I've done a ton of job interviewing on both sides of the table. At one point, about 12 years ago, I was part of a small consulting firm, and we had a product that we were trying to sell around how we create competitive advantage for our customers. Turns out it was a very hard product to sell, and in order to help that sale, what we hit upon was we should write a book that's a case study of how we've created competitive advantage in an environment where everybody understands it. And we made a list of those different environments, and on the list was the job interview. And so I took that and I went and did a lot of research, which is typically what we would do, and then came up with a strategy that was novel for how you might win the job interview. And I wrote a little book called The Peak Interview as a business card handout. A little bug here is I'm in British Columbia. And I didn't even get the book edited because when you're a consultant, having a book gives you a lot more credibility. And you hand it out as a business card. You never actually expect anybody to read it. Well, it turns out that somebody in New Jersey actually read the book. Turns out she was an editor, and when she read the book, she couldn't resist editing it. One day, a package arrived in the mail. She'd photocopied every page of the book, and she'd edited it. And she attached a note, and the note said, Bill, loved the content of your book, but the writing's absolute crap, and I've taken the liberty of editing it. She was in job transition at the time, and I was very grateful to her. Her edits were very good. And so I incorporated them a few months later into the Peak Interview. Well, that new edited book actually got into the hands of somebody who ran a employment ministry. And this was at the time when lots of people were looking for jobs. And I got invited to talk about the book to an employment ministry. And I did. And that kicked off a series of talks. And I do a talk probably once a month now on the book to groups of people who are in transition, from groups of CEOs or CFOs, and there's these kinds of groups out there, to college students, to anybody who's in search of a job. Turns out that the techniques work for anyone. So the background of the book is that I wrote it for a consulting purpose as a business card handout, but it ended up being a book that turned out to be very useful to people in transition, including my 3 adult children who have all been through a couple of jobs already using the techniques in the book, both to win the interview and also later on to negotiate salary. And my daughter is the top earning physician assistant where she lives in Florida as a result of both using the Peak Interview techniques and doing a great job with a little help from me in negotiating her salary. Anyway, I encourage you to get the book, obviously, but to watch the rest of these videos in this Peak Interview channel, because I will reveal to you the 2 things that you need to do to win the interview. One is to be the person the hiring manager likes the best, because that's the person that gets hired. And 2, make sure the hiring manager believes that you have the wherewithal, the capabilities, the skills, the competencies that are needed to do the job. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the videos. Thank you for watching.